Atlas, starring Jennifer Lopez, Mark Strong, Sterling K. Brown, and Simu Liu, who recently played Shang-Chi, it's interesting. And by interesting, I'm not talking about the movie itself. What's interesting is to see if you can pick how many different things or how many different other really interesting movies this film cribs from. So, by my count, I saw clearly signs of Terminator, the recent movie The Creator, Revenge of the Sith, pretty much any AI movie that's been out in the last 5 years where AI tries to take over humanity and wipe it out. This movie doesn't bring anything new to the table. When it starts off, it plays like a 90s action flick. It's like, think of like a Total Recall or some movie where they got to get the hero, only this person can save the day. Only in today's culture, which I don't have a problem with it, it happens to be a woman who is someone who looks like Jennifer Lopez. That's stretching credulity in of itself. Even the titling, the text looks very 90s. I don't know if they went for that on purpose, but it was almost like a parody. Jennifer Lopez plays an analyst for this global security organization called ICN. I forget what that stands for. She's a brilliant analyst, and we are led to believe that because in the first scene when we meet her, she's playing chess with an AI, kind of like a hologram. Remember on the original Star Wars on the Falcon where Chewie and R2-D2 were playing some kind of monster chess? Something similar to that. And she beats the AI in a few moves. So that means, okay, she's brilliant. So they show us and they tell us over and over again. As a matter of fact, she's so brilliant that she creates the AI entity that is trying to destroy the world. Well, she didn't actually create it. I don't want to give too much away, but she played a large part in why this AI robot or android named Harlan, who's played by Simu Liu, wants to destroy humanity so he can rebuild it and make things safer for humanity because he sees humanity is on the verge of destroying itself. So he wants to detonate nuclear bombs around the globe. Listen, it doesn't make any sense. And I'll tell you, Simu Liu's character, the villain, is not even two-dimensional, not even one-dimensional. Such a flat character with hardly any character development. And the villain, he playing the villain, doesn't make an appearance, so I'm going to say like the second act. But I got to tell you, this is one of the worst crafted villains. Nothing interesting about this character, the bad guy in this movie whatsoever. Another thing I want to say before I get deeper into this review is the title, Atlas. That's actually the name of Jennifer Lopez's character. And, okay, first of all, you want us to believe that an analyst working for a defense company looks like Jennifer Lopez. That's the first thing. I said it, yeah. But then her name is Atlas, and there's no explanation for that. How do you... Her full name is Atlas Shepard. Get it? Shepard? Whatever. But Atlas, they don't ever explain that. And that's the title of the film. The other thing I don't get is, why do you put actors of a caliber like Mark Strong, who everything I've seen him in, the thing that comes to mind is Kick-Ass. He was brilliant in that. And I've seen him in other things. I don't remember them, but I remember he was great. And you put in Sterling K. Brown, who gave a fantastic performance in American Fiction. And I remember him when I first met him when he played Christopher Darden in the O.J. Simpson case with Cuba Gooding Jr. Excellent. And you give them virtually nothing to do. Even, like I said, even Simu Liu, his character is so innocuous. I don't think I've ever seen more wasted characters in recent times. I can't remember the last time I saw talent of this nature go to waste as in this film. So in the first act, they've already set it up where Harlan, the AI that was, I'm going to say created by J-Lo, has been chased off the planet and has relocated on another planet in the Andromeda Galaxy. Oh, for some reason, I forget the details, not that it matters, but it's set up in the first act that Harlan, that's Simu's character, he wants to, like I said, destroy humanity to rebuild it and make it better. So they go out into space. The Rangers, that's the defensive team for the planet. Think of them like, if you're a Star Trek fan, they're kind of like Starfleet, I guess. That's another thing that this movie references, Edge of Tomorrow. Because when they go off into space in their main spaceship, in these mech suits, another shout out to what we're seeing now in Fallout, these Rangers are neural linked to mech suits. And, now to think about it, they took a little bit from Pacific Rim as well. So you get a whole pastiche of this film. But anyway, I digress. So they go out into space to try to locate Harlan on this planet. I can't remember the G29. I can't remember the name of the planet. But these got to be some of the dumbest Rangers I've ever seen, because they have no defensive capability, apparently, because Harlan, who is a brilliant AI, because he was developed by a brilliant analyst in Jennifer Lopez, sets a trap for them. If you remember the scene in Edge of Tomorrow where Tom Cruise tries to warn everybody in the ship that it's an ambush and the ship gets blown up and they have to drop in their suits, they basically took that scene and amped it up. It's a decent action scene, but I felt like, wow, this was so much better in Edge of Tomorrow, because the setup was better, and I don't know, Tom Cruise is more effective in building a character. The setup is they try to go find this guy Harlan, the AI guy. They get ambushed. They take a whooping. J-Lo gets put into a mech suit so she can survive.
What do I do? Stop it!
Because the ship blows up in space. She drops. She lands on the planet, and then it becomes almost like a survival thing. And when she gets into the mech suit, the story then progresses into how she has to come to terms with trusting an AI, because the suit is run by AI as well.
I don't need your help. I don't trust any AI.
The suit's name is Smith.
This planet is unstable and inhospitable.
Atlas, my name is Smith.
Is that really necessary? You're a computer program.
Smith. I don't know why. There's no indication why they chose these weird names. It's such a bland name as Smith and such an odd name as Atlas. So then it turns into this, and I'm not giving anything away when I say this, but it's clear the story, if you've seen any type of sci-fi, if you've seen iRobot, if you've seen anything where humanity has to trust machines, that sounds like a franchise that was pretty popular. I don't know, Terminator, Terminator 2, and so forth. So I'm not giving anything away. The rest of the movie then becomes she has to relinquish her distrust of AI so that they can beat the bad guy. All right? And I mentioned earlier neural links. So what it is it's basically like a Jabra earpiece that they put on their body, or behind their ear. And it allows the user to link with the suit so that, I'm guessing, so that the suit and the user can do things because they know how each other thinks without the user having to say, hey, do this. And then the machine, the mech suit has to do it. So when they get linked, the mech suit is in the user's consciousness and things can happen a lot faster. That's all I took from it. Throughout the whole film, up until roughly the third act, the suit is saying, you have to trust me. Trust me, Atlas. Give me your link. Link up all the way. And she starts to trust, and she links up 30%, then 40%, then 50%. I'm not going to go any further than that, but it almost plays like a perverse love story between J-Lo's character and this machine entity, the mech suit, because every time the suit was like, come on, give me your link. Give me the link. You know you want a link. It sounded like, the suit was trying to throw some game at J-Lo and like, yeah, give me the draws. Come on, give it up. It plays that way. It plays like a perverse love story almost. There's one scene that I found kind of gratuitous, and I think they did it just to show how much money that they actually spent on this thing. It's a scene where Sterling K. Brown's character, I forget his name, but he's like the commander of all the Rangers. He gets captured, and he's put in he's tortured for information by Simu Liu's character Harlan. And the makeup, I'm assuming it was makeup, but it was pretty grotesque. I mean, it was the one thing about this film I'm like, wow, they really went all out for that. Other than that, the visuals they weren't bad. They did feel very CGI. They felt like when you play a video game. I'm not a gamer, and you play the game and then it goes to this interstitial where the graphics are amazing and the story is advanced. The effects occasionally looked kind of like that. They also sometimes they had like a Spy Kids kind of look to it to me. That's just me, but that didn't take away from the film. None whatsoever. For me, what made this film just not that good is just the dialogue, the writing. It just seemed corny. It seemed predictable with J-Lo having to bond with the AI. I just felt like I'd seen this all before in better movies. Things just didn't make sense to me, like what motivated characters. Like Harlan's whole plot didn't make any sense to me. And then the last act of the film, it was like a Marvel movie where you have this big blowout fight where just things happen that don't make sense. One thing that Harlan does that I'm not going to give away just is what made me think of the Revenge of the Sith. I'll just say, no, I'm not going to say anything. Oh, the film also cribs from Aliens because in the last act there's a scene with J-Lo in the mech suit and she has her "get away from her, you bitch" line. And during the whole climactic battle scene, I just was sitting there thinking, as these characters are doing things that don't make sense, but they do them to look cool, I guess. The writers throw these things in there just so that everything looks cool. I just wanted it to be over. I mean, I knew where it was going, and I just wanted it to be over. Just a lot of noise, a lot of CGI, and between two characters that weren't that interesting to me. J-Lo does a great job of acting, but she did make some choices that I thought were a little annoying. She's constantly, I don't know if she did this because she wanted to convey that her character is just an analyst, that she really doesn't know what she's doing, but she was always whining and crying a little bit too much for me. I mean, she was a strong character, don't get me wrong, but at some point it's just like, okay, stop. You're a character in an action film. So I can suspend my disbelief that even though you're an analyst, you can grow some balls and do what you got to do, get it done. Stop with I can't do it, I don't know. Enough. That got annoying after a while. One other little thing I found annoying, and I blame the MCU for this. There's another android, I'm calling him androids, another AI. His name is Casca Vix. Now that's a cool name. I like that name. But he's taking on a whole a whole squadron of Rangers, and of course he's badass. He takes them all out. And then he jumps up in the air and he lands on that one knee bullshit that the MCU has made popular, and I can't stand. So listen, it is not a good movie. I'll put it this way: for Netflix, okay, I can sit through it. I can pause it, go make a sandwich or whatever, go use the bathroom. As a matter of fact, I was watching it with my son, and he went away for like 20 minutes, and he came back into the room, and I said, you didn't ask me to pause it. He summed it up brilliantly in a way that you could say for most films. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to catch up pretty quickly. Then he was right. It's wholly predictable. Dialogue is really cheesy. The action sequences are okay, but the end action sequence was just boring. You can see it all coming. You know what's going to happen. I would say if I'd seen this movie in theaters, I would have wanted to burn the theater down. I would have wanted my money back. I would have wanted a coupon and free popcorn. But all right, I want to be gracious. Since this was on Netflix, I'm giving it 2 reels. That's the best I can do, 2 reels. Could have been much better, but no, it's retread. It's rehash and not well done. When you finish watching this movie, all of the movies that it references, it'll make you want to go see them and be satisfied with what you're watching. That's all I got. That's the Martini. Leave your comments below. And please hit that subscribe button. All right, I'll see you again soon.